What is
The recording started, you can start.
Honorable devotees, Dandavat Pranam, all Krishna Śrīla Prabhupada. Thank you for all joining today's Bhagavatam class. Narayanam Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritta Naranchaiva Nartamam Deving Shashati Besham Tato Jayamudiro. Before reciting this Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead, Narayan, unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nasta prayeshu abhadreshu Nityaṁ bhāgavata-sevayā bhagavati uttama sloke bhaktir bhavati nastiki. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam and by rendering service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the person of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Hare Kṛṣṇa devotees, again. So we are on Canto 10, Chapter 4, the atrocities of Kunkamsha. So we see that here Devaki Mataji trying to pacify and glorifying Kamsa to save the life of the daughter, which is actually none other than Yogamaya or Mahamaya. So we stopped there yesterday and we'll start from verse 6. Prabhuji, you want to start reading?
Okay. Hare Krishna devotees, Dandavat Pranam, all praise to Srila Prabhupada. Verse number 6. Nan aham tehe avraja dinahata sutta prabho datum arhasi mandaya ange mam charamam prajam. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Jai. My Lord, my brother, I am very poor, being bereft of all my children, but still I am your younger sister. Therefore, it would be worthy of you to give me this last child as a gift. So Hare Krishna Prabhuji, so as we discussed, even though Prabhu nicely explained, who actually is Kamsa and how he was born, and but how Devaki Mataji, pacified him, all that. But now she's kind of requesting Kamsa, that this last child, even though it's a daughter, and she'll not be able to hurt you, she's requesting, even though she knows that she's not her daughter. I'm still telling that you're a younger sister, therefore it would be worthy of you to give this last child as a gift to me. It's wonderful, Prabhuji. Please add Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji, very much. Prabhuji, do you want to add anything?
No, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, do you want to text 7?
Sure. Hare Krishna devotees, Dandavat Pranam, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Text 7. Sri Shuka Yubacha Upaguiha Atmajam Ebam Rudatiya Dina Dinavat Jachitastam Binir Bhatshya Hastat Achide Khala. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Shukdev Goswami continued, piteously embracing her daughter and crying. Devaki begged Kamsa for the child, but he was so cruel that he chastised her and forcibly snatched the child from her hands. Purport: although Devaki was crying like a very poor woman, actually she was not poor, and therefore word used here is Dinavat. She had already given birth to Krishna. Therefore, who could have been richer than she? Even the demigods had come to offer prayers to Devaki, but she played the part of a poor, piteously afflicted woman because she wanted to save the daughter of Jashoda. Hare Krishna, here again we see Devaki Mata's compassionate nature and conscious cruelty. So Hare Krishna Prabhu, back to you. Please say.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So, Prabhuji, my question was that when the Vasudeva take baby Krishna to Golaka, that time Devaki Mataji was sleeping, right? And when he came back, she was sleeping, and Vasudeva kept the child close to her. But she knew the whole incidents, like Krishna will be taken to the Goloka and it will be exchanged, and that she knew that it will be Dashoda's daughter.
Yes, Prabhu. I mean, we read that Krishna actually instructed, so she knew about that.
Okay, sorry. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu.
Any comments? Anything else?
Would you one thing here? Last line it says like she wanted to save the daughter of Yashoda. So does she know that does Devaki Mataji know that Krishna will be going to Nand Maharaj? Maybe I missed it in the before verses, but
Yeah, the same thing just Sankirtan Prem Sankirtan Prabhuji told, that in the previous verses we actually read that when Krishna took the baby form, from the Vishnu form to baby form, and then instructed how to take him to the Golaka and return back with the Durga, or the daughter of the Jashoda.
okay, Prabhu.
Yeah, yesterday also we read, right, Prabhuji? So Devaki Mata knew that, this is not her child, but she was, even though very, very compassionate to save Yashoda's daughter. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Sushilpa Mataji, do you want to read the next verse?
I will, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Tam grahitva karanayor jatamatram svasuh sutam apotayocha chilapraste swartona mulita sauhrada. Translation by His Holiness Sri Prabhupada. Having uprooted all relationships with his sister because of intense selfishness, Kamsa, who was sitting on his knees, grasped the newborn child by the legs and tried to dash her against the surface of a stone. Very hard to read, Prabhuji. Yeah, I think pretty straightforward, right? What he did with selfishness.
Any comments? Yeah, we see that Kamsa is so afraid of as Mother said, selfishness, as we're afraid of to save his life. Even he's a baby girl, but he doesn't want to take any chances. So selfishness, I, me, mine makes us blind, and then we don't think to make any harm to others, because then the center is only me. But when we love Krishna, so we love the whole world actually, then as a devotee, we love the total creation, and we're very much afraid to harm anyone, not only physically, even by our behavior, our words that we control. So that's a devotee are so purified, and so devotees are called sadhu. Wherever they go, that place is purified because they love all the creations. So we can go to the next verse if there's no comments. Text 9.
Prabhuji, no comments on the verse, but just to share. It's amazing how we think. I read earlier. I had a chance to read one of the beautiful phrase, a sloka about Krishna coming to birth. I was so blissful. Now I'm getting a chance to read this one, which is very hard to digest. So it's really amazing. And I mean, that's what God says in Bhagavad Gita, right? To be balanced, we shouldn't be too much happy about what is happy to us, and not too much, sad. If in case it's hard, but it's very hard to balance. I just wanted to share it just right in my brain.
Thank you, Mataji. Yeah, that's true. Very true. So if we attach too much or get great happiness something, that means we are waiting for something sadness also.
True.
Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. Ekam Prabhuji, will be able to read the next verse. Let me.
Sure, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, everyone. Dandavat pranam. Satada damstat pumutpatya sadhyo deva ambharam gata drishtya tanuja vishnu saya sayudhasta mahabhuja. Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. Translation purport by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada ki jai.
The child, Yogamaya Devi, the younger sister of Lord Vishnu, slipped upwards from Kamsa's hands and appeared in the sky as Devi, the goddess Durga, with 8 arms, completely equipped with weapons.
Purport.
Kamsa tried to dash the child downward against a piece of stone, but since she was Yogamaya, the younger sister of Lord Vishnu, she slipped upward and assumed the form of Goddess Durga. The word Anuja, meaning the younger sister, is significant. When Vishnu or Krishna took birth from Devaki, he must have simultaneously taken birth from Yashoda also. Otherwise, how could Yogamaya have been Anuja, the Lord's younger sister?
Thank you, bro.
Prabhuji, you want to share your comments?
Yes, Prabhu.
Also.
Yeah, I think it kind of this was one thing which I was when last week when Shubhilas Prabhu came, I was asking about the same point to Prabhu, like how did this happen? Like how can Krishna, how can this be like another baby born at Yashoda at the same time, how would they know? How would Krishna know? So it appears that Krishna had a plan, and he had divine arrangement that he appeared Krishna at Mathura and as well as Vrindavan the same time. Just that in his presence is seen differently. One as Yogamaya, and the other one as Lord himself. So this is kind of explains that what I asked him. So that's all I want to add, Prabhu. Please carry.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Yes, now it clearly states that actually I never knew before. I heard, now we are reading the same thing here. So Krishna was born in two places same time, and that Mathura Krishna actually marched with the Vrindavan Krishna. Prabhu, if I make mistake, that I heard from the lecture of Bhakti Chaushamani Maharaj, that they marched, and Durga was brought by the Vasudeva. Is it right, Prabhuji? They marched together?
Yes, Prabhu, that's what I also heard from Maharaj's lecture.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So any comments, any other additions?
Yeah, Prabhuji, as Prem Sankirtan Prabhu said, I also heard that, Vrindavan Krishna doesn't fight at all, but actually Vasudeva Krishna, who is also, Devaki Krishna, fights. So whenever there is a fighting scene, the Krishna takes over and does all those things, atrocities, against. So he maintains that, and like we see that dual personality. Of course, he's cause of all causes. He can take any thing, but that's what I heard, Prabhuji. Srila Prabhupada says that Krishna appeared simultaneously as both for the Devaki and Yashoda, as you said. Thank you, Prabhuji.
So you are telling that all the fights with the demons or killing the demons is done by the
Vasudeva Krishna.
Vasudeva Krishna. Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, I don't exactly remember the entire thing what Shubhilash Prabhu said, but what I understood from a few points which I remember are what exactly Srila Prabhu was also mentioning. There are two Krishnas where one Krishna never left Vrindavan, and anywhere we have seen or the experience like the fighting or whenever Krishna goes to Mathura or any other place, that is a different Krishna, but the actual Krishna, real Krishna, who is in divine form, never left Vrindavan. That's one point which Shubhilash Prabhu mentioned, but maybe he will add more in the next class when he joins. And that's one thing which I remembered.
Yes, please. Thank you for that comments. So we can go to the verse text 11-12. I can read, Prabhuji. So Harjun devotees, pranam, I'll go to Śrīla Prabhupada. Dibbo sago ambara lepo ratna barano bhushita dhonu shuleshu charmashi shankho chakra gadadhara siddho charano gandharvai apsaro kinnaro ghoi uparito baribihi Shriyomanandam Abravit. Translation by His Divine Grace is Bhakti Manasya Prabhupada Śrīla Prabhupada Joy. The goddess Durga was decorated with flower garlands smeared with sandalwood pulp and dressed with excellent garments and ornaments made of valuable jewels, holding in her hands a bow, a trident, arrows, a shield, a sword, a conch shell, a disk, and a club, and is being praised by celestial beings like Apsaras, Kinnaras, Urugas, Siddhas, Charnas, Gandharvas, who worshipped her with all kind of presentations. She spoke as follows. So we see after slipping out of the conscious hand, that baby daughter of the Jashoda take the form of the goddess Durga with 8 hands, and she was decorated with all the paraphernalia, and she is praised by all the demigods with all kind of presentations. Any comments, any additions?
Such a beautiful description, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Holding trident, arrow, shield, sword, conch shell, club, and praising by all the devatas, Gandharvas. Yeah, wonderful, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, you want to read text 12?
Oh, sure, Prabhuji. Second round. Yeah. Hare Krishna devotees. Text number 12. Kimmaya hataya manda jata kula tvanta krit yatra kvava purva satrur mahimsa karpanan prata. Translation by His Divine Grace C.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O Kamsa, you fool, what will be the use of killing me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who has been your enemy from the very beginning, and who will certainly kill you, has already taken his birth somewhere else. Therefore, do not unnecessarily kill other children. Hari Bol. So, Prabhuji, we can see that even though Kamsa knew that a male child will be, killing him, but he was still so ignorant that he did not stop to kill the girl child. And we were just discussing the Vrindavan Krishna, and so she says that Krishna, who is going to kill you, is already born. And I also heard that actually Vrindavan Krishna was born with only 2 hands, but Vasudeva Krishna was born with 4 hands. But when Devaki and Vasudeva requested the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he showed his 2-hand forms, and once Nanda Maharaj brought back, and then Vasudeva Krishna and Vrindavan Krishna absorbed Vasudeva Krishna. That's what I have. Maybe Prem Sankirtan. You can. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Yes. So, as you said, that the picture we see at the beginning, that Krishna was born but take the Vishnu form right away, 4 hands, and with the prayer of the Mother Devaki and Vasudeva, then became a 2-form baby. Any comments, any additions? Prem Shakun Prabhu, do you want to read verse 12?
You just give me a few minutes. Why don't you, can you read? I'm going to come read the next verse.
Sure. No problem. Sushilpa Mataji.
I can, Prabhuji. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Iti prabhasyatam devi maya bhagavati bhuvi bahunamat Bahunama Niketesu Bahunama Babuvaha. Translation. After speaking to Kamsa in this way, the goddess Durga, Yogamaya, appeared in different places such as Varanasi and became celebrated by different names such as Annapurna, Durga, Kali, and Bhadra. Purport. The goddess Durga is celebrated in Calcutta as Kalki, in Mumbai as Mumba Devi, in Varanasi as Annapurna, in Katak as Bhadrakali, and in Ahmedabad as Bhadra. Thus, in different places, she is known by different names. Her devotees are known as Saktas, or worshippers of the energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whereas worshippers of the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself are called Vaishnavas. Vaishnavas are destined to return home back to Godhead in the spiritual world, whereas the Saktas are destined to live within this material world to enjoy different types of material happiness. In the material world, the living entity must accept different types of bodies. Brahmayan Sarva Bhutani Yantrarudhani Mayaya. Bhagavad Gita 18.61. According to the living entity desire, Yogamaya or Maya, the goddess Durga gives him a particular type of body, which is mentioned as yantra, a machine. But the living entities who are promoted to the spiritual world do not return to the prison house of the material body. Tyaktava deham punarjanma naitimam itiso Arjuna. The words janmana iti indicate that these living entities remain in their original spiritual bodies to enjoy the company of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the transcendental bodies. Vaikuntha. Prabhuji, if you can scroll up, please. Vaikuntha and Vrindavana. Okay, that's the last line.
Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji. I got to read good one after the other one, which I. Yeah, I think Srila Prabhupada is explaining here about goddess who appeared as Yogamaya, and after the appearance. I'm not sure. Probably she vanished from the prison house after warning Kamsa, maybe, and later she is worshipped in different parts of India in different names. I think Prabhupada detailed out on what's the name according to the place of residence. That's good to know. And Prabhupada was also explaining the difference between the devotees who worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, versus the devotees of Maya, Yogamaya. And I think the main difference is if we worship Krishna, if we have Krishna's consciousness, then it would be ahead of the material world, right? We all know. But whereas goddess, it's also goddess, right? She's also a goddess, but Prabhupada is explaining that who worship only the Yogamaya goddess would still be in material world, but would be enjoying happiness, material world with happiness. That's what I understood, Prabhuji. Please add or correct.
Thank you, Mataji. Very nicely. I have nothing to add. So, like in Kolkata, I'm from Bengal, so Kali is very prominent. there. Even the name Kolkata came from Kali. So Kali's, and there's a lot of saints. They actually they're famous for worshipping the Kali in Bengal, and there are a lot of followers. And before actually coming to Krishna consciousness, I had the idea that Kali, Durga, Krishna, all are same. But though I'm reading Gita from childhood, but after reading the Prabhupada Gita and listening the lectures, then I clearly is differentiated who is Krishna and who is Kali. So all goes to Prabhupada for taking my misconception. And I think a lot of misconceptions to other devotees also. And as your Mataji said, that if we take surrender to the Lord, we'll go back to the Godhead. But if we take worship the demigod, Kali or Durga, then we'll keep coming back. Brahman, Sarvabhutani, Janturani, Maya. We will keep coming back. This is material world. So, any additions, comments, Prabhuji, please.
I think Prabhupada was mentioning one line. I don't remember where I heard, but Prabhupada was explaining also that how that Kali or Mata Shakti also is coming from Krishna, right? She came from Krishna, but there's a difference in worshipping Krishna versus only goddess, as you said, demigod versus supreme personality of Godhead.
In the comments.
Thank you, Prabhu.
I think in Brahma Samhita, right, Mataji, that's what it's thinking. That Golokanamni Nichitam Nitale Chatasya Devi Mahesha Haridama Sateshte Tete Prabhava Nichaya Vitasyena. So in that, I think what I heard is, like even Durga Devi, that's what I heard. Of course, she's sister, we know, right? She's the external Chit potency. That's what I think I remember. Everybody worships as Durga.
Thank you, Prabhu. I heard from one of the ISKCON preachers, like us, our Shubhavilas Prabhuji.
Okay.
There's someone else, I don't remember his name, sorry. Amarnath Prabhu from Boston, I think. Amarendra Prabhu. Yeah. So I heard one of his preachings in one of the video, and he explained it very beautifully on why should we consider Krishna as who is God and why is Krishna the God, the supreme personality of Godhead. So there he took many demigods or gods themselves, like Shiva, Shakti, Ganesha, right? And he explained, he pulled in phrases from, he explained by pulling phrases from Puranas, and then explained it very beautifully. I think from there I heard that Shakti is also part of Krishna, which came out. I think we call Shakti as nature, we call it as Maya, everything which is, we are all out of Krishna, right? But if devotees restrict themselves to the demigods, then whatever goodness that we get, we would be restricted to that only. But going back to Krishna would be one step ahead. So very, very good. Thanks to Prabhupada in explaining this.
Yes, Mataji. In that lecture, actually, Prabhuji mentioned from Padma Puran, when Mother Parvati asking Lord Shiva that who should we worship, then Lord Shiva was telling that Ardhanam Sarvesham Vishnu Ardhanam Param. So Mother Prabhupada asking to Lord Shiva, and he's telling that Vishnu Aradhanam Param. So that clearly states that we should worship the Lord Krishna. Any other comments? Otherwise, you should end here and start tomorrow again.
Sure, thank you.
Thank you, devotees, again for joining the Bhagavatam discussion today. So, Amar Puran Śrī Bhagavatam ki jai. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Jai.
Thank you.
Antya kalpadurvasya kripasindhubhye Thank you, devotees.
Thank you. Hare Kṛṣṇa.
Hare Kṛṣṇa.